Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show. I'll be breaking down the big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please hit that like button, and that is greatly appreciated. And if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing. Now, if you want to get all kinds of daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and you want to support the channel as well, definitely head over to Patreon, and that link will be down below in the description for you. And now, let's get right into the market and have a look. All right, so welcome back once again, guys. And you can see Fed officials are split on where interest rates should go. Minute says, and then also they were really concerned about the inflation, which is not really going down in a fast pace. Now, if you look at the market, today was a nice day in the market, especially for traders that actually like to trade both sides of the market. Now, let's talk about it. Market is still open as I'm actually filming this video for you guys, 3:14 p.m. right now. So we still got less than an hour left, but you can see the gains already wiped off. Dow is pretty flat, advancing 53%. So it's actually really good to see, more advancing than declining today, which is 44%. Nasdaq was up over 1%. You can see gave back all the gains pretty much, only up 0.43%. And by closing, we might be even going flat or even red. S&P up 0.29%. It was also up, I think, nearly 1%, gave back a lot of the gains. And Russell was also up, excuse me, over 1%, I believe. And now it's pretty flat for the day. 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500. You can see on top, again, energy led the way. Basic materials, financial, and then we have some technology on top as well. Consumer cyclical, but utilities taking a back seat today. Down again, real estate, consumer defensive. So it was a, kind of a risk on type of move today, but not quite what you would like to see in the market. You're not seeing, consumer cyclical, technology, and all that, communication services leading the way. We still have energy leading on top. Stock market map. What do we have here? You can see Amazon up 1.59%. And we'll talk about Amazon because we've been talking about Amazon, how it's oversold, and we can see 207, and we definitely did that today. Google flat, Meta flat, Tesla flat. We got Walmart taking a beating. They're down just over 2%. Microsoft up 0.5%. Nvidia up 1.13%. MU up over 4% on the day. But it's pretty much, a mixed up market. You can see a lot of the things are actually red, and some things are in the green today. So we'll see how that market plays out. We do have some more data coming out this week. And then we got fear and greed index now sitting at 39. So we're still back on fear. This is where you want to load up, but we're not there yet. So we'll see if the market sells off a little bit more going into next few days. But as of right now, I would say this, mini consolidation, what's happening in the market, just a little bit neutral. We're not seeing a significant downside. Also, we're not really going anywhere to the upside. And now let's talk about Amazon, since that's the stock. uh, you know we've been talking about it in my channel, especially with big mega caps, and I think we need to look at it, how Amazon actually came up a really nice move today. All right, so on Amazon stock, it's up 1.66% and still trading over 204. Now, in my last video, you guys saw that I was, talking about Amazon here, how Amazon getting really oversold, and we could see that bounce in the short term back up to 207. And this is exactly what we got today. We backed off from that 207 area, now trading just over 204. But you can see this call out that came out. This was actually on February 17th, which was last week. And it was trading right here. You can see pretty much picked the bottom. If you look at the time, you'll see that especially at 10:36 a.m. I called out these calls right here, and these are up over 20% right now. So if you want these types of trades, and I'm just sharing this one with you guys, and I even did that without any sort of membership, anything here on YouTube. So if you took it, you already got paid on this play, and you're still up. You can just put a stop loss and just ride this thing up if it's going up even more, or you can take partial profit, whatever. But if you really want to do this and you want to get these types of trade ideas, especially through Patreon, definitely check out that link and you won't be disappointed with trade ideas. There is so many of them. So Amazon, as long as Amazon remains over that 201.74 and we get over 207, we could see more upside. But as of right now, we still have that gap, which is right here, right around 196, 195. So that is why I'm not really going big on Amazon, because if this thing comes back down here, that would be a really good opportunity to grab more Amazon at this level, or maybe around that 188, 187. So Amazon definitely looks good for an oversold stock getting that big bounce. But if we clear 207, then there will be more upside even in the short term here on Amazon stock. On Netflix is up 0.86%. So we talked about it, that bullish divergence on the RSI, and so far it's playing out. You can see we came down to 75 again. That was on Friday, and since then we never came back. And today it went higher. All the way back up to 78, and we're trading just close to $78. So if this thing continues, I think we can fill the gap just here around that $80 mark, and if we can get over that, we will see more upside, maybe up to that 20-day moving average, 82.39. Now, if this thing comes back, then we do have strong support right here at 75, underneath that 73.79 on Netflix. On Broadcom, it's absolutely flat on the day, and you can see we're not really going anywhere, and looks like this range, or at least bottom of this range, is going to break, which is sitting right in between 331 and 324. If that's out, we're trading below that. We could be retesting daily 200 SMA, which is sitting right around that 313 mark, and there could be even more downside here on Broadcom if this thing does not move over that 356 zone, which is almost impossible as of right now. You can see multiple rejection from this negative sloping 50-day moving average. We cannot even get over that, and right now we're just holding that 20-day, which is sitting at 330. So that's going to be key support zone here. That 20-day, if it gets under that level, we could see 324 and possibly into daily 200 SMA. On Microsoft, it's up 0.65%. So you can see Microsoft cannot get over this 5-day moving average, which is sitting around that 401 zone. You can see right here, this is the blue line, which is the 5-day moving average, and we just can't get over that. Another thing to point out, guys, the lower Bollinger Band pointing straight down. So if this thing takes out this low, this is going to be your stop, at least in the short term. If this one takes out 392, we could be going lower. And why there is a possibility of going lower? The trend is down, even though it's oversold and all that, and it's really juicy price here at 399, 400. There is another gap, and I think we can get down there. How this Bollinger Band pointing straight down, so that would be a really nice good dip on Microsoft. But watch out, if this thing breaks and holds over 400, that could be bullish for a move back up to maybe these highs right here, 422, maybe even up to that 429. But as of right now, we're just not there. And you can see the past couple days, we're just ping ponging in between like 402 to maybe even 395. Even that was the case on Friday. And so far today, we went higher, but again, you can see rejection came from this 5-day moving average and that 400 resistant. Now we cannot just go past that. So once we get past that, we can hold here, then expect more upside here on Microsoft. On Meta, it's absolutely flat on the day, but Meta slowly it's coming down here, and looks like it's gonna touch this zone anytime. Maybe tomorrow, if not Friday. Sometimes looks like it's gonna close the gap, maybe retest the trend line. We're already trading outside the weekly expected move today, at least when it was down to 628. But you can see the initial bounce, but nothing really big happening. We're just trying to hold that 638. If we cannot hold that into closing, we still have half an hour left. We could be pulling into this gap 618. To the upside, if we can stay over 638, now there will be resistance right here at 647.44, and only then we can talk about maybe retesting these moving averages right up here on Meta. On Tesla stock is absolutely flat on that day. So you can see the trend is down. This was that bounce, and now we are coming back again. So Tesla, I would say, takes out this lower band right here, gets underneath that 400 mark. we could be going down rapidly, retesting these lows and maybe even closing some of these gaps down here, which is at 368.9. Now to the upside, Tesla, you can see found resistant again at 417 because of this 5-day moving average. If we can go past that level, we could be going into 423 and then 432. On Apple, stock is absolutely flat on the day. Also, you can see Apple rallied back up after this big sell-off, and this was just a dead cat bounce. I don't see anything bullish about this rally, even though some people thought that this was probably the bottom here, which I don't think that's the case unless we break over that not only 265, 266 as well because of this 50-day moving average, but as of right now, it's just not happening, and we're just holding 263, this 20-day moving average as support. Underneath that, that opens the door down to 259, which we saw yesterday and even on Friday's session. So it's really not looking good. It's kind of a mess here on Apple that if this thing actually takes out this low down here, 255, we could be pulling into this next big support in the gap, 249 to 250. On Google, stock is down 0.23%. So Google also not really finding any sort of ground here and still just continue to sell off. Today, again, got a rejection. We came up to almost 306. Did not even touch the 5-day blue line and got a rejection and now trading just around that 300 mark. And you can see there is support around that level. So it's holding up. But underneath that, that opens the door for a move up to 292 and even lower. If we can stay over 300, watch out for potential bounce back up to 306 and over that 314. On AMD, it's down 2.53%. So AMD was down this morning also, down to 195. And then we saw a nice bounce back up. But just to give it all back again, you can see we're back down to almost 195 again. So AMD takes out, I would say, this low. That's around 190, 191. That is your confirmation. And the lower Bollinger Band pointing down that this gap will likely to get filled maybe within next couple of sessions. It's just about time. If this thing, gives up this range right here, which is trying to hold right here, right around that 200 mark, you can see it's trading still around that 200 mark, just slightly under. We're definitely coming in and closing this gap at 170. We get seller bounce now. 202 will be resistant. You can see we got rejection there. We went slightly higher at 203 today and got that rejection. If we can get over that, we might be heading up to that 5-day 205.57, and then we can talk about a potential bounce, maybe back up to these highs right around 219 to 220. On Nvidia stock, it's up 1.34%. So Nvidia, we had that nice dip right here, massive rally. Again, Nvidia gave back all the gains pretty much, retracing more than half, and now we came back up again. But you can see the rejection happened instantly at 190, came back, closing the gap, and now sitting at 187. So Nvidia, we do have earnings coming out next week, guys. So this is something that's going to make or break this market because if this thing rises above this range, which is right up here at 196, that would be bullish for maybe even filling this gap. But Nvidia gets down with earnings and takes out bottom of this range, just like Microsoft did. That's gonna be really bearish for the market, especially for Nasdaq 100. We could see, further selling into the market, and Nvidia will definitely sell off and go into like 160s, maybe we're into 150s. So I'm not gonna say too much about Nvidia because we need to wait for earnings, but keep open mind here that Nvidia just inside this multi month range. This is the top, this is the bottom. You sell here, you buy here, and you can see over and over same thing. Only this time Nvidia went higher, but just went higher to give it all back again. So Nvidia here, guys, watch out 184. That's going to be a key support. 186.42 as well because of this 5-day moving average, and we are trading above that. If we can get over 190, watch out for especially 193 to 196. If we get under 184 somehow, then more downside possibility on Nvidia, and there will be significant selling, maybe down to bottom of this range again, 175 to 170. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching.